Hey, good afternoon. It's Bob from Trade Genius. It's the 29th of August, and I'm just going to go through about 10 or 12 charts here of the most interest to me and kind of where I think things are. And the first one here is oil, and it's sitting above a moving average and the VWAP line, and my view is I still think it's going to touch it. And so, what I'm going to recommend for people that are following this trade is to we'll probably move our buy limit up from 565 to 575, and take the trade then, and see if we get a positive bounce off of those two lines. Looking at Intrexon is that we're getting I think interesting bottoming candle here, and still just starting to peak out here in terms of my momentum to buy. I want the intensity to turn back up. We've been burned on this one before, but it looks pretty good here in terms of it shot back up to around the 27 area. I closed this out on Friday because I just wasn't sure what was going on with the market, and then it popped. So it happens sometimes, but right now it's getting stretched out pretty hard, but it looks like it's now climbed up over its the yellow line. Just for everybody, because I have it hourly, but the yellow line really represents around a 20 moving average, and the red line represents around a 50 moving average. So it's climbed back up over the 50, and I think this stock's going to have some legs. And I hate to chase right now, so I'll probably wait for another move down and go back in it. But if those are still in it that are following this trade of mine that didn't panic out like I did on Friday, just go ahead and hang with it, because it looks like it's starting to turn into a bullish pattern longer term. FAS, we closed out on this on Friday. We made a little bit of a profit on it, and about a little over 1%. And then it popped too, and my view is I'm just going to wait for it to come back into a buy signal again. I think the banks are going to probably win either way here, and I just didn't want to get caught on Friday. I kind of went close to cash because I just wasn't sure what the signals were telling me from the Fed, and I just didn't want to get caught down with the last week of the month, games going into the unemployment report. But it looks like the market's telling us they want to buy banks. So we'll look for another entry point to buy and jump back in it again. Probably, it'll drip back down under 30 again, and then we'll take a shot at it. And coffee, we're in Joe, and I think it's ready to make its move, and it's been banging on this high 21 area for a while, and it looks like it's setting itself back up again for another move higher. So those that are in Joe, stay in Joe, and like I said before, Joe's going to double here as this El Nino turns into a La Nina. So it's just worth being patient with. XIV, I didn't really chase it, because it gapped up the open, and I just kind of left it be. Wasn't sure what the market was going to do, but it's going to probably wait to Wednesday, maybe into Thursday, to see if we get any volatility increase going into the employment report. Usually releases on Thursday into Friday, regardless of what the number is, unless it's really an outlier, and we'll be buying back into XIV. But right now it's a buy, but I'm going to just wait on it as well. SLW, we're in SLW, excuse me, and it's holding the 50 pretty well. And, I gave a buy signal this morning. I tweeted that out to folks, and I think if you're not in SLW, it is probably a good place to make an entry. GLD, again, same. Got a buy on it. I didn't really talk about it yet. I'm going to wait till I get a little closer to the employment report, because typically the Thursday before the employment report, they sell gold down. So I'll probably look to make a recommendation to get into GLD probably sometime mid to late Thursday if we still have a buy signal on it. SALJ, same as SLW. The pattern looks pretty decent. Looks like the 25th was the bottom. That's holding so far. We've had now two other higher lows, so it's forming a bit of a ascending triangle. And my expectation is that as the dollar goes, as gold goes, as silver wheat will go. SPY, we're still in the range. This crazy market this whole week. We've gone the whole month of August, and we're from the 8th to the end of the month here, and we're still at the same price. And it's just a lot of just back and forth like a sailboat race here. And so, it touched on the top of this long trend line. If you see the red line there, that's a trend line it was in for almost a year and a half. Went down and tested that, came right back up to VWAP, and now it's sitting on top of it again. So I guess, we may go back and forth across this line a few times until employment report. And then I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I know there's some people thinking, hey, we got a swing coming, and other people saying, oh, it's going to crash. But I'm just absolutely unsure. It's just not it's just not doing much. Just creating anxiety. PAC B, one I like to trade a lot, but it's right now it's not a buy. MOS, you got a buy signal on it, but it's underneath the VWAP and the moving average, so I held off on calling a trade on it. This is dealing with some earnings stuff from last week, and so even though a buy signal hit in the morning, just a reaction, and I just don't want to get into something I think I'll only be in for a day or so at the most. And XLE I think as oil in the stock market goes, it's going to move. I got a buy signal on it. Again, we've been in it with calls, and so just not sure because it flattened out pretty good here. Again, it's still below its high from earlier in the month, and so I think oil and stocks need to move together, and today they didn't, so it really didn't do much. JJG, the ags, I had a report this weekend. I talked about the ags. I think this washout is pretty done. It's pretty intense. We're at the point now where the farmers really can't make any money at these prices. So it's going to be interesting to see how planting will go. And my view is I think the futures market, they're really hammering it hard to try to get these farmers to cough up their crops, and I think the farmers are just shorting the market along with them. And at some point, they'll sell their crops, cover their shorts, and we'll get a ricochet effect here. And so that's my view on JJG, corn, wheat, soybean. Just FYI. And then Labu, and I'll finish here is kind of my proxy for the biotechs, and it's sitting underneath moving average and VWAP. It had a buy signal on it from the 26th. There was no way I was going to trade it with the Jackson Hole meeting on Friday, and didn't really do much today at all. Bounced around, but I'm waiting to see if it gets back over to VWAP and starts running again, or if it's an opportunity to short it into the election. Anyways, Bob from Trade Genius. These are some of the things I want to talk about today. Be back tomorrow, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.